All right. Right now we have our special guest on Skype with us. We just called him in. Go ahead and say hello.
How's it going, y'all?
Of course, again, like we said, we have Mr. Jay Wile on the phone with us. And we have a lot of questions, but we're just gonna start off with how you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Actually just got home from work, so I'm just trying to get settled and glad I got a chance to talk to y'all today. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, for sure. Where do you work at?
I actually work in leasing.
Okay.
I work at department management.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So should I start off with my?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So, as you know, you have a lot of music out right now. You had just celebrated anniversary for your debut EP just the other day. Blue Patio. Definitely gonna get into that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. No, but I'll just start out like I've known about you actually before we even started this podcast, and I learned about you from the Frank Ocean subreddit. And I know I hope this isn't like annoying or anything, but like
No, we're good. Yeah.
But again, a lot of people I'm sure you've heard compare you to. And when I first heard that, I'm like, how's that even possible? Like, how can someone sound like Frank Ocean, you know? But I listened to, your album, and I'm like, wow, holy crap, this guy does really sound. Of course, you have your own style and everything. It was like, it was really uncanny how. So just to start off, why do you do music? You know, why do you find that as the main medium that you like?
Yeah. So, I mean, when we first wanted to start, I'm gonna pull one of these headphones. There we go.
Yeah.
So my friends and I back in high school, we were just a bunch of freshmen trying to like make music. We wanted to make famous and grew up on Lil Wayne and all that. So we saw that and like try to be like him and try to rap. And we actually started a group at that point. So at first it was that. And it wasn't until I realized that I couldn't rap about the things I wanted to rap about. Like Lil Wayne always talked about like women and drugs.
It's a flex, yeah. For
XYZ,
sure.
yeah. And at 13, 14, like I knew none of that. So I tried to learn how to sing. So that's really why. And then from there, I just kind of like fell in love. Like I was in band in middle school and like joined choir in high school and like really just fell in love with singing and like making music instead of just like enjoying it, I guess.
So where did you grow up?
I'm from San Antonio, born and raised. Both my parents were military.
Oh, wow.
So just been San Antonio, and then I went to school at Texas A&M in College Station.
Oh, Texas A&M. So, okay, cool. Know a few people over there.
Cool.
So at one point, did you kind of start actually writing your own music, and like what genres or artists did you kind of look to inspire you? You know?
Yeah. So once I started, like, so we want to go way back or like in this current place? I guess?
Let's start at like the inception of this idea. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, back then, I mean, I grew up listening to like, 2000 R&B. I mean, the music Soul Child. Grew up on John Legend. It was one of the first albums to get lifted. Like Lauryn Hill and like our parents. And when I was younger, they would play like when we were cleaning in the mornings, like D'Angelo and like even older school, like the Stevies, the Princes, and the legends, of course. So I had a lot of that growing up. But then I guess when I started making my own music, like definitely I grew up on the Drake era and the Wayne era. So I was definitely trying to do that. So you can find some old music out from like 2009, 2010. Like the idea is there, but like it's definitely like if you ever find the music, it's definitely like the Drake Wayne birth. And as I've grown into my own musicianship and I've learned and like got to be in choir and like picked up keys and picked up different instruments, I definitely take inspiration from Stevie Wonder still, and Frank Ocean, of course, and John Legend. They're just very talented songwriters and musicians in general, and just formulating my sound off of like all that I grew up on, both from when I was little and then what I've chosen to listen to my young adult, I guess.
Yeah. So
that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely.
Okay, cool.
So music has kind of, it seems like, been a part of your life for most of your life. You know, you talk about being in choir, being in band in school. which is really cool to see how that's kind of defines who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So first of all, we talked about Blue Patio. Let's get right into it. First of all, so like I said in the intro, Matt put me onto you, and let me just say that ever since I started listening, you've been heavy in my rotation. Blue, first of all, congrats on getting an album done. First of all, and congrats on it being as good as it is, as great as it is.
Thanks, man.
What I want to ask is, because one of the things I love about R&B is when you can really feel the emotion behind a lyric.
Okay.
You can just tell,
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Examples I can think off my head, like Call Out My Name by The Weeknd, Marvin's Room.
Right.
So when I'm listening to Honest, third track off Blue Patio, one of my favorite tracks, and it seems like a lot of people's favorite tracks.
We should play a snippet right here. We'll just play,
for sure.
So we know what we're talking about.
First couple lyrics, yeah.
I keep falling out of love with the girl that I love. I can't say that I'm gonna change when I know that I won't. So if it is true, then I gotta make a move away from you.
So yeah, that right there. When I first listened to that, I heard a lot of conflict. I heard heartbreak, and also I felt like there was definitely an interesting story behind that. So, do you want to get into that a little bit here? Or?
Yeah. So I guess let me explain how I wrote it, and then that kind of sets the picture. Because to go into like the actual stories, like I try to write music from a personal place to an extent of more so capturing those feelings. So like the things you're talking about of like the uncertainty or like the understanding of knowing you're not in the right place, like that comes from a genuine place of like real life things. But like the stories or the word choice I might use is more to like help paint the story that I'm trying to craft. So like with Honest, like I was in my room. It was my first year, my first senior year of college, and I just picked up my guitar and I just started jamming out, and I came up with that chord line. It reminded me of the after I played it, I was like, damn, that reminds me of that one song. I can't think of it now. It's the "So Kiss Me."
Oh, by who?
I got to figure out what the name is. It's an old school song, like from the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
And so at first I was upset that it was like the same style, but then I realized like the ideas that I was coming up with were brand new for me. And so the song basically wrote itself at that point. So to be able to like, it just came from it's a special place when some songs write themselves versus like a grueling process of getting it edited and sending it out and 4 months worth of work versus like this one was written within that night. And I knew that it was like real because it felt real to me. So like I snapped it to a couple of my friends and everyone was just like, oh, what song is that? Or they were like, is this a new song? I was like, okay, cool. Like I got one. So I put it away. So that's really how it was built. So, but the songs that, I'm sorry if I talk too much. But the songs the songs that happen like that, those come from like just a raw emotion, regardless of like an individual story, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah. Have you, so the reason I asked that is because I did look up your genius lyrics. Let me tell you, like, I've been there, bro. I've been there, man. And, when you have to be so honest on a track like Honest, you know, sometimes you have to go into that, that, like you said, that personal space. And, one thing I always wonder when it comes to artists that just expose themselves like that is, have you ever gotten those, those text messages or phone calls when someone who, could be
It could be about.
we were referencing to, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you gotten those phone calls, those rough text messages?
No. Not recently.
Wow.
Not recently. I'll tell a story.
Recently.
So back, there's a project from like 2011. It was called, I think it's called Love, Pain, and Happiness. And so back throughout high school, like I didn't make beats. So I would take them from like the biggest artists. Like I had Drake beats. I was like flipping to make my own songs too. And one was to like Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. And I wrote the song and I changed it to like Victoria's Secret was the name of the song. And it was about this girl. Her name was, of course, Victoria. Wow, she's not gonna hear this. And like, I thought we were a thing. And I was 16, like just in a 16-year-old brain. Like I had imagined this whole ass relationship in my head of like what could be. And she just wasn't feeling the same way at all, like whatsoever. And so like things happened, like she started dating this dude on the other team, on the same team. And I was like so petty that I went home and like wrote this song. And we're on the bus headed to track meet for, we were on the same track, like AAU. And she was sitting like the seat across from me or like caddy corner. And I was like, hey, I got a new song. Do you want to hear it? And she's like heard the other music before to that point. She's like, oh yeah, sure. And granted, like she has no idea like I'm like bugging on the inside. Like this is like internal bugging that's happening.
Yeah.
Man, I've never told the story. Wow.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, she started listening to it and like I didn't have the title of the name on the song though. I didn't have that. And she got through. She's like, is this about me?
Oh.
I'm like, the shoe fits. Oh man.
Damn.
She was not happy.
So Victoria's Secret coming out soon.
No, that was one of the old ones, yeah. And I put it out and like
yeah.
our friend group, like the music was out there, like it was bad.
Oh,
so
man.
going forward, I never, I mean, of course I don't put like someone's name in the song now, but like I try not to like go
expose
at personal actual stories for that very reason. Just out of respect for everyone involved, yeah.
So that's like that's like the closest you'll get with that song.
Oh, that was me going all the way.
Yeah.
But I feel like with songs, you can write songs that are true and are very still like cut to the core, like honest cuts to the core, numb cuts to the core. Some of the other songs really like come at you at like you have like it's about you, but it's about everything. I think those are the best songs when everyone can relate to it because it's like a personal thing that they can relate to.
Right. Yeah, for sure.